tech stuff about like my input is on the phone version of my headphones and not the audio stereo
Oh,
because they're like for phones, but they're also for whatever. It's very boring. That's why I didn't say it.
that's okay. You're becoming a streaming pro yourself, aren't you?
That's yeah.
Well, we are officially
I've done one
live.
stream in my life.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Is this your first time officially on Twitch?
It is. It's the first time I've ever logged on to the website.
Yeah. Oh my god, the first time you've ever even gone on the website. That's insane.
I want to say I've never typed in twitch.tv to my browser.
What? What have you been up to all
Although
quarantine?
technically, um, what the hell have I been? I don't know. Watching Seinfeld.
Oh, that's a good choice. Was that your quarantine go-to?
I mean, it's been a fucking year, so there have been several quarantine go-tos.
How many times have you watched it at
Let's
this point?
see. So I got to season 6, I want to say, and then I don't know. Do you reach like binge walls? Because I
Yes.
will like start a TV show and
Hey, thanks
oh
Tony for the
wow,
follow.
hell yeah.
What's up?
Um, Tony and I were just talking earlier today.
Yo, yo,
Um,
yo, he says.
wait. Oh, I don't see the chat. Is there a way for me to see the chat?
Yeah, if you go to twitch.tv/Amanda
Oh,
Peanut. Or I can just read it to you.
oh, oh, no, that's fine. Wait, no, but I do want to see. So we're on a separate thingy than Twitch right now. We're on your.
We're on my
I'm
personal
so
one.
dumb. Okay, I understand.
Did you post on
Twitch.tv
your
slash.
story? Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. I try to stay off it because it wrecks my fucking brain.
Oh, yeah. Mental health. I respect
I
that.
have a very like my interactions with Twitter in times uh, of distress
Oh, my
tend to
volume is
be.
low. Crap.
Hey,
What
I did say it.
what about now, Tony?
Um,
Oh, it's really low. Hold on, I gotta adjust this.
we've just been encountering
Is that better?
hella technical difficulties. Might be a little louder.
Mercury's in retrograde. Oh, I think I just made it louder. That should be good. Don't worry, still low. I am a tech genius, so got this covered. Um, how about now? It
Is it
sounds
louder or are you just talking louder?
both, both. Hey everyone. Welcome to my first Mercury retrograde show. Everything's going great. Um,
Is Mercury in
Previous,
retrograde?
yeah, Mercury's in retrograde. Yes, it is.
Did
Um,
not know. Maybe that
well,
explains why everything sucks.
yeah, you could say that. Um, I agree.
That's what it's supposed to be, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Also, cheers to our bubbly water, my fellow sober
Oh yeah.
friend. This is how we do it.
Ching. I know. Fucking if quarantine wasn't here, I'd be going to a party and pounding like 6 of these boys.
Oh yeah. Do you bring your own? How do you do it when you go
I
out?
frequently bring my own LaCroix
Yeah,
to a party.
same.
I bring like a fucking 12 pack so that it's like at least ostensibly for the whole party, but I usually go through like half of it just by myself.
I would I would be your friend at that party. If we didn't know each other, I'd be like, "Yo, this is
Yeah,
a very clutch thing to bring to a party. Hey, I'll protect
I
our
know. It's like
uh
I feel
oh,
like it is a selfish thing, but like it is off on the off chance that someone there is sober, that's like the coolest thing that you can do.
yeah. Oh, totally. Great way to make friends. I'm definitely going to do that whenever we can make friends again. Tony
Yeah, whenever
actually,
that's allowed.
yeah, whenever that's allowed. Tony had a question. Does LaCroix have flavors? And if so, what's the best one? Have you never heard of LaCroix, Tony? Because there are a lot of
Yeah, Tony, come
flavors.
on.
A
Tony,
lot
I
of
feel like we
flavors.
have drunk soda water together, bubbly water.
It's much better than club soda. I hate club soda.
Um,
What's your
wait,
favorite
okay.
flavor?
Uh, club soda is just straight soda water, right? Or does it have like a little bit of
Yeah.
a taste?
No. Club soda is soda water, but it's kind of bitter. It's gross. I don't like it.
Not tonic water, because tonic water is like disgusting.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of? I don't know.
I feel like I don't know. Um, LaCroix, I don't actually buy literal LaCroix very much.
Okay.
There are like a bajillion flavors of LaCroix, so I think you should answer
Oh,
uh, that
well,
question.
currently I'm drinking lime. So, we'll
A
go with
solid
lime.
choice.
Yeah. Um anyways, we got sidetracked there. Hi dog nuts. Thanks for tuning in. Um, everyone that's watching, if you've got questions for Peter, he is an absolute expert on film, TV, writing, storytelling, production. Oh, my mom's favorite flavor is pamplemousse. That's the grapefruit. Pretty good. So ask your
That
questions,
is a good
chat.
one.
Ask your questions. And sorry, when we
Thank you for
started
presenting
out,
me as an absolute expert. I am absolute in my expertise.
I've been
I am
told
the final word.
I've been told I'm really good at gassing people up. That's what I do.
That's a good that's a good thing to have for a talk show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like coming to the gas station, just talking. On that note, we were talking about hitting a binge wall, which I have hit.
Yeah.
I hit it like every week. But tell me.
I've had to I've had to stay away from shows because it is so easy to just binge. Like
Yeah.
I've really been trying to like I am a person that in a normal time, like where you are allowed to go out, will choose to watch like three movies in a day. And like that is fun for me. And that is I love doing that. And like not just like easy movies, like foreign movies that you have to fucking read and like
Yeah.
depressing shit. Like I will watch all of that gladly, but lately it's just so mind numbing that I'm just like I don't want I don't want to do anything with my brain. I don't want things. I just want noise and activity and like
Yeah.
easy laughs. So
Yeah.
um I, I started Seinfeld assuming that it would just be that it would just be easy, but I was surprised to find that I think it's a genius show that is not a guilty pleasure whatsoever. It's just like good as hell.
Yeah. Would you say it's your favorite sitcom? Or if not, what is your favorite sitcom?
Hmm. Um, Favorite sitcom. I guess that depends what exactly counts as a sitcom because I guess just by default, like Arrested Development has to be fave sitcom for life. But
Okay.
like
Good choice.
we've had if we're talking like old school multicam setup sitcoms, Seinfeld like by a mile.
Okay.
Um, because I think it just like took everything that was great about that format and then just like threw away all of the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
And it is just like it looks great. It was all shot on film, so like it looks great still, and all of the lighting is like surprisingly very grounded and cinematic.
Mhm.
And just like the acting and the writing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I love it.
Wow, that's awesome. And this is
But
the
as
first
far
time you're
as like
watching, right?
I mean, I had seen episodes before, but like I had never sat down and like really watched the show.
Wow.
There's definitely something kind of poetic about Seinfeld now, because the entire basis of the show is like, aren't all of these weird little societal things like strange once you look at them? And it's
Yeah.
like them like picking apart, like human behavior, but all of that is stuff that we don't get to engage with now. So
Mhm.
it's like when Seinfeld is like talking about just like, I was in line and then somebody cut me in line and like she didn't even look at me in my direction. I feel like you gotta look like you do, like all of these weird little things that like we know to be true that we've seen out in the world. It's
Yeah.
like that's like beautiful poetry now because I haven't
Yeah.
seen that shit in like a
Wow.
year.
That's such a great way of putting it. It's like a window into the past. Oh
I know.
my
Just
gosh.
like, is
My
your
dog.
cat wrecking
My
things?
dog is
Your
being
dog. I want to see the dog.
nosy.
Where
He's
is that?
going a little wild on the couch. I'm not going to show him right this second. He's
Wow.
misbehaving.
He is fucking psyched.
Anyways, sorry. That's yeah. I'm gonna watch Seinfeld now, but as you were talking about it, it just made me want to watch How I Met Your Mother, which is my personal favorite. Have you seen it?
It's a good one.
You like it?
I've
Does
seen a
Peter approve?
pretty large amount. Well, I watched it a lot in high school. I don't
Mhm.
really remember if I still think it's very good.
Okay.
But I do remember it being fun. Oh, fuck. New Girl. New Girl is one of the best sitcoms ever made, in my opinion. Um,
Really?
and then Tony just said Always Sunny. Yeah, Always
Yes.
Sunny has kind of been like incredibly good for about 14 seasons, which is insane.
Yeah.
There's a
God,
lot of good
that's
sitcoms.
insane. Um, Tony said, "How I Met Your Mother's cute, but gets too much hate." I agree. I mean, it's a bit
Does it get
outdated.
hate?
Well, a lot of people hate Ted, the main character. Um,
Hmm.
but it also is just not super PC, not super sensitive. It's not up to date with the
Yeah,
times. So it's a little cringe when you watch it now, but it's still a classic. It will always be my favorite. No shame in that.
yeah.
Um, but I
There's
want to talk.
definitely some
Oh, go.
aspects. Oh, no,
Continue.
no.
Sorry.
I'm, I am here for you.
No, no, no. What were you gonna say?
I mean, like, I just rewatched I would say New Girl was the other big quarantine watch. I watched all the seasons of that. And, I mean, I, I figured that it had actually aged worse than it had aged.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I would say that it aged not the best in some respects because it is very much an Obama era TV show where like they kind of like are so comfortable with like there's very much the like mainstream Democrat liberal vibe of just kind of like, oh yeah, racism, we know we're not really doing any of that right now, like we're all good. So
Yeah.
like they kind of have some weird sort of like we're not racist stuff in there that like would not fly now.
Yeah.
Like stuff they're just a little too cozy with like uh Cece. who's the Indian character, like
Mhm.
being sort of the brunt of like weird racism, and
Yeah.
like they kind of, it's like you can tell ill intentioned. You can tell it's like a we're all laughing together, right? But it's like I don't know if everyone was laughing together with you on that one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just weird comments from what's his name? Um Max Greenwood's character. Do you watch New Girl?
I watched it years ago. I don't remember it super
Yeah.
well.
Also, Winston becomes a cop for half the show. The and
Oh,
I
classic.
just was like, in rewatching it, yeah, I don't know. I That was a misstep to me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then
It
like
makes
towards
sense.
the end of the series, the last season was the year that Trump was running for office. And you could tell that the like structure that the show was based on,
Mhm.
like it culturally was not going to be able to continue because Schmidt,
Interesting.
that's Max Greenwood.
Right.
Schmidt is like supposed to be like a hot young Republican where he like, and it's made fun of. Like he worships
Really?
capitalism, and he's like a Republican for the whole show, but like the meaning of Republican changed
Right.
throughout the later seasons, and it just didn't work anymore. Like I don't think
Yeah.
they ever said like he's gonna vote for Trump,
Mhm.
but like you know, so now you have this show where like a black character is a cop, another character is a Republican, but is like marrying into a family of color, and it's
Yeah.
like it was getting a little too like I get hopeful.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
optimism, and then there's like, what the fuck do you guys even believe on this show?
Right. Interesting.
So
Wow.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to revisit
Still a
this.
great show.
Yeah.
It is. I say all of that, but I still love the show. It like makes me cackle.
I'm glad it holds up. I'm glad it holds up. I think some of my favorite quarantine watches have been on HBO Max. Do you have it?
I just got HBO Max, and I am glad that I did.
That was a great decision. I will give you my recommendations. We Are Who We Are is amazing.
Yep. I have not seen that yet, but I know it's by Luca Guadagnino. Gonna fuck up that name,
I don't
but
know how to say it either.
the the
But
director
yes,
of
Call Me by Your Name.
yeah.
Yes. So, okay, must watch that. Then Raised by Wolves, which is Ridley Scott. It's
Oh, okay,
really good sci-fi. It feels like Alien. It is like Alien, but yeah, must watch. The Third Day with
okay.
Jude Law. Very good.
Damn, I actually am not familiar with any of these. I'm gonna write these
Oh,
down.
gotta write them down. They've been the highlight of my quarantine, honestly.
Okay,
Raised by Wolves, We Are Who We Are, The Third Day, and then most recently I watched Snowpiercer, which
the show.
the show. It was really good. It's also on HBO
I
Max.
really
Yeah. Jennifer Connelly.
wait. I thought that was a Showtime show.
It's on TNT, actually. And season two
Ah,
just started. So I literally finished watching on HBO, and then the next day, season two started, which was very convenient for me.
nice. So it is good.
It's very good. I mean, it's not perfect. I wouldn't,
Yeah,
I don't know, I wouldn't bet on it, but I would recommend watching it in quarantine.
I've just had such a. It's very difficult for me to start shows that are that type of um like adaptation of very recent movie
Mhm.
shows, but at the same time like I know that they can be good. Like
Right.
I had the same feeling going into What We Do in the Shadows, and like
Mhm.
that show is phenomenal. Like it's so good, and I stayed away from it for like 2 years because
I've
I was just
still
like,
stayed away from it because I
okay,
like the movie too
guys,
much. I still haven't watched the show.
the movie is great.
The movie's
And I just
perfect.
was like, the movie's great, and it's also the kind of thing where it's like, why do we need this? Why do we
Yeah,
need a fucking television show? But
exactly.
just give it a shot. It
Okay.
is I fucking love that show, and that is the hill I will die on.
Wow. Okay, well, I need something right now, like tonight. So, yes. Thank you.
Okay, go do it.
Um,
Also, the episodes are not that long,
Great.
and the seasons are not that long, so you
Oh.
can probably get through that in like a weekend.
Can get through it in a damn night. You know what I did just watch in
Yeah,
one night was Feels Good on Netflix. Have you seen or heard about it?
I is that the documentary?
No, it's like a
Oh,
scripted
okay.
drama by Mae Martin, the comedian.
Oh,
It's
no.
very
I've
good.
heard of Feels Good Man, which is a
Oh,
documentary
about
about
Pepe.
the radicalization. Yeah,
Yeah, about 4chan. No, not this.
yeah.
Not
AKA the
this.
most like terrifying development in American history,
Yeah.
the
I
4chanization of America.
yeah. I mean, we're not allowed to use Pepe on anything because it's like a far right symbol. And so many people don't know that and
Yeah,
like make it normal on Twitch, but it's not normal. It's not
yeah.
cool. No Pepe's here, folks. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. We can say it, we
Feels
just can't
bad,
use
man.
it.
What does that come from? What does that phrase come from? I feel like
It's
you're much
uh
more online than me.
it's like you can name emotes. And so one of the Pepe emotes, it's like feels bad, man. It's like a sad Pepe, basically. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's like something people say on Twitch, something people say on the internet. Tony wants to let you
Ah, I
know
see.
that he shaved and now also has only a mustache. Thank you, Tony, for letting us
Oh,
know.
hell yeah, man. Fun fact, because in like public facing streams and Zoom calls are the only interaction with like anyone outside of my partner anymore. I shaved just for this stream.
Wow, thank you. That's
Yeah,
so thoughtful.
I hadn't I hadn't trimmed my facial hair in like 3 weeks because, you know, who gives a fuck? But I just decided to be like a little bit more presentable for,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, you gotta be consistent
for
with
your
your look.
dedicated crew.
You know, like when people look you up, they might not
Yeah.
recognize you if you don't have the mustache.
Sure, yeah.
You're gonna be the mustache director. Is that what you're going for? Is that part of the shtick?
Uh, I wasn't really doing the mustache until like last month. So
Oh,
it's
it's
not,
new.
yeah. I mean, I have no schedule for trimming my facial hair whatsoever, so I can't even really say this is my look. I think it's a decent look. I could
It's
keep this
working.
going.
It's working. It's definitely working.
Mustaches are back.
Yeah. Did they ever leave?
I feel like mustaches were very much not the thing in like the 2000s.
Yeah. Unless you were like old. I feel like old people
If you
wear
had a
this.
mustache, you definitely had to have like a little goatee going on.
Mhm.
And I remember this because in like 2010, when I was just starting to have facial hair through like 2015, I was just like, if I have facial hair, I need like something going on down here as
Mhm.
well. Like I'm not allowed to just have a mustache. And then somewhere around 2018, that changed. This is the kind of content that your subscribers want, right?
I mean,
This is
Tony
the
brought
like
it up.
very interesting.
Tony brought it up. There's six
Do you
people
have
that
like,
have not stopped watching. So, We did lose a
Hell
couple
yeah.
people, but I think that was before we were talking about
Okay.
mustaches. So we're doing good. We're doing good. If anyone has a
Yeah.
problem with it, let us know. I do want to talk about you though. I'm also intrigued by this whiteboard behind you. Um, Maybe we start with that because I want to know what's on it, and
Okay.
then I want to get into the story of Peter. Where did it all begin? Tell us who you are.
It all began with I don't know. Um, I don't have the wits or the improv skills to actually do like a bit there. Um, I don't know. The whiteboard is just my work board,
Nice.
and it has not been updated in some weeks. Half of it is stuff for a screenplay that I'm working on, and the other half is a to-do list that hasn't been updated for about a month.
Hmm.
So,
Nice. Um, do you find that like the whiteboard is your preferred brainstorming space? Like where do you start your screenwriting and storytelling process?
where do I start it? Uh, just a script page. Um, I uh, I don't have ideas. That's
That's a
probably,
lie.
we were talking about this on the phone the other day.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. I don't have ideas, meaning I don't like sit around and ideas come to me, um, which feels very weird, especially because like it wasn't always that way. I feel like I used to get ideas, and now it's just like if you told me like what's the last big good idea you had for a movie, I would be like, I literally haven't had an idea for a movie in 5 years, um, because I just sit down and start typing in script format, and then I keep going until it's a script. And sometimes
Mhm.
that doesn't get wrapped up very quickly,
Mhm.
um, which leads to writing like a 300-page script, which happened last year. And I still
Oh.
have not edited that into anything worthwhile.
Can I
But
ask a
there's no
quick
idea,
question? But
you may.
before we leave this topic, I have to ask a question. So, have you ever heard of channeling? Do you know what channeling is?
I mean, I know of uh, the word. I don't know if
So,
there's like a particular.
the interpretation or the definition I'm thinking of is something that some artists and writers experience where similarly like you might not have an idea, but when you put pen to paper or hands to keyboard, you just have like a major stream of consciousness like coming out of
Yeah.
you. And a lot of artists and writers do that process and they kind of intentionally channel like a higher being that they work with. It's kind
Hmm.
of like a creative partner that isn't on this earth
Interesting.
plane, if that makes sense. And the process you're describing, it
Yeah.
just reminded me of that, like how things come to you very naturally
Sure.
when you start. Does that resonate?
I mean, that's I like the idea of that. I've never really thought of there being like another thing out there. Um, I but I like I don't know. I'm a recovering militant atheist, and like I I feel like I am more open now to just like entertaining the ideas of not necessarily spirituality, but just like weird metaphysical shit,
Yeah.
because life is very boring.
Mhm.
And I can understand why people like the way my mom would put it is in defense of like, heaven and things like that is like, I don't know how you would have hope otherwise.
Mhm.
And I think that that is kind of cynical about life. I would prefer to believe that like there's worthwhile shit in life without like needing there to be like a fucking pot of gold at the end
Mhm.
of the rainbow. But like, also, it's true. Life is incredibly disappointing and depressing, and I can see why mankind's inclination is to be like, you know, uh, dressing it up a bit. Uh, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's something wrong with like controlling people through those dressing it up
Mhm.
ideas. Um, but like, you know, yeah, okay, that was a fucking tangent. But like,
No, I
basically,
like
what you're
hearing
talking about
people's
is like a
opinions.
muse. Like,
It's more of like a spiritual connection that you use to spark
okay,
creativity. That's how I would describe it.
I've definitely like that described or whatever, like the idea of like people praying to, creative. I feel like Aristotle might have started that idea of like, you know, or not Aristotle. I feel like in the Odyssey, there is like a prayer to a muse by an artist or something like that.
Hmm.
And I read some book somewhere where, oh, what was it? Um, the War, the War of Art. It's this little booklet, and the guy that wrote it is like super into that idea of like, you know, um, something accessing you
Mhm.
creatively.
Yeah.
I'm also a big fan of David Lynch, and he never really speaks about this. Um, he never really, I think his idea is that there is this like energy field of creativity that
Mhm.
like he just, has taught himself how to access.
Yeah.
And that's his whole thing about like meditation, which I do. I'm a fucking fanboy, so I do transcendental meditation because of David Lynch.
Do you have a mantra? You don't have to tell us, but you have a mantra, I'm guessing.
I do have a mantra, and
Nice.
I do use it.
It's great.
um,
It's great. I meditate every
but
day. Not
do you?
transcendental. Oh my God, yeah. Meditation is keeps me sane. Keeps me sober.
What is your meditation?
Um, I do. Well, I started with using the app 10% Happier, which is amazing. Have you heard of it?
Okay. No.
It basically has courses that teach you like the basics, but also specific courses that focus on like stress, anxiety, sadness, like meditations that help you through that stuff. And it's
Okay.
what I like about it is that before you do the meditation, there's like a 1 minute video with the host of the app and the meditation teacher. So you actually learn and hear them talk about what you're going to be doing, which I think is really valuable.
Oh,
Um, and
cool.
once I finished all of them on that app, I started taking classes and doing more like energy work meditations and visualizations, um, which I
Wow.
love.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, like, uh, what is your practice?
Um, I meditate every morning and ideally at night. It fluctuates. Recently, I haven't been meditating at night as much. Um,
Yeah,
but on a good day, I meditate for at least 10 to 15 minutes twice a day.
nice, sweet.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. How long ago did you start?
It is good stuff. I started in December of 2017.
Was that around when you got sober?
No, it wasn't actually tied to that for me. It was more tied to uh, I don't remember what the actual impetus was, but I I'm trying to remember if I was in therapy at that point. Um,
That was why
I
I
must have
started
been.
with
I
a
must have been.
therapist. Yeah.
Really?
Oh my God, she kept telling me, and I was like, maybe later. Nah, not right now. And then finally I
Yeah.
was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And everything changed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how much stock to put in the meditation itself, but I will say I was on antidepressants and I got off of them at the
Hell
same
yeah.
time as starting
That's
meditation.
awesome.
Um, I unfortunately it is the thing where like if you are doing it for a while, you start to not realize how much it's helping you, similar to medication.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I do note like I mean, my meditation for the past like week has been fucking terrible. Like I have had I have had I guess a lot of anxiety. It's like not even conscious, but I will just sit down to meditate every morning and night, and I'll just realize my sternum is so tight,
Yeah.
and I just like am so distracted by that for the entire thing. So like in these situations, I don't want to meditate. But then
Yeah.
like last year, I just like stopped meditating for several months and like it was pretty bad. Like it's I think just, you know, people in transcendental meditation get really like I don't know, high on their own supply with this shit, but like
I've never
I
done it.
will say
I don't know much about it other
it's
than that you get a mantra.
you get a mantra and the organization is like three steps away from being culty. They're not culty, but it is like pretty close.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing that keeps them, I read a book about like, I read a book about like uh, marketing and like influence and stuff. And there was a chapter on cults. And I was like reading, like, okay, so at this point, that's where shit starts to become a cult. And I was like, okay, well, transcendental meditation is like here. Like here is the cult. And they're on the spectrum, but they are not quite there.
They don't make I feel like
Because
usually the
they
difference is they don't make you stop talking to your friends and family. Like that's like the big
that's the thing.
difference, right? Like
Yeah.
you can keep living your life,
It's
but you have to
there's
do
a
all this stuff.
Right. There is a point in transcendental meditation where they say, okay, bye now. Like you can keep going back to uh, they have like offices in most major cities, and you can
Nice.
go back for like checkups where like you sit down and you meditate with someone and they basically like answer questions about meditation. And honestly, I've always been disappointed when I do this
Mhm.
because it feels like they're just kind of saying like, well, you know, if you feel like you're not getting the most out of your meditation, you just need to meditate, and then the answers will come to you. Like there's there's like no skill involved in this, and I
Yeah.
will shit talk their company, but like
Yeah.
at the same time, it can works. I don't fucking know.
Interesting. I need to read about it. Now I'm actually more curious. I mean it's so common in LA that I like never took it that seriously. Like everyone had their
Yeah,
mantra, and was like going to the center. And obviously David
it's
Lynch
very
is
LA,
basically a god, so I get it.
right?
But
Yeah.
I've yeah, I haven't done the research, so I really don't know. I'm actually interested in how it compares to what I've been taught.
I just think that it's it's an easy and accessible meditation style
Hmm.
that has an incredibly good marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Um, so like I don't think that it's better than what do you call it? Mindfulness meditation. I just think
That's what I
that
meant.
mindfulness meditation is hard and takes practice, and
Yeah.
you need to like learn
Yeah.
about it. The
Is
biggest thing with transcendental is that you just learn one thing and then you're done.
like you're just repeating your mantra the whole time, or are you visualizing things? What exactly does it involve?
that's the whole thing. Is the only thing that they say is necessary is repeating the mantra,
Okay.
and then like trying to make that not be as literal, like to in their teachings, like they just say like repeat the mantra until it becomes just kind of like a rhythm in your brain. My
Mm.
theory is that transcendental meditation is not so much meditation as it is self hypnosis, but
Mm.
that's good enough.
That's what we all need.
Like it actually does, cool your entire body down, calms your brain down. I
Mhm.
have taken myself down from panic attacks with transcendental meditation.
Mhm.
Um, so like, cool, that's fine for me.
Yeah. Are you interested in astral projection at all?
uh, interested interested in it for myself, not particularly. But if you know some shit about astral projection, tell me what you know.
I mean, I haven't done it. I want to. I think about it a lot. I've almost tried, but
You
I
think
get
about it a
too
lot.
scared. Yeah, I think about it every night before I go to bed in hopes that maybe it will happen naturally. Um,
Give
I
me the pitch.
like of how to do it, how to make it happen.
I mean, so what I know of astral projection is that you like intentionally leave your body and then go fly around.
Yep.
Is that accurate?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
you can go anywhere,
Okay.
apparently.
Apparently.
But
Um,
it's hard to do. You basically have to put your body into sleep paralysis, and that's the part that scares me.
uh-huh.
Um, but
So
once,
who teaches this?
well, there are hundreds of people doing it on TikTok. I see TikTok videos about it every day. Maybe that's just because I'm. Oh no! Did I make you laugh, or was that an accident?
these these fucking kids are astral projecting on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, it's
These
like a
kids with their fucking
sensation.
dances.
It is a
What?
total TikTok
Okay.
sensation. But I knew about it before that. Um,
Yeah, I read about astral projection when I was in my like interested in psychic shit phase when I was like 16.
yeah, I'm
Uh,
still in
but
that.
like I
I've been in that for like
well,
10
as I
years.
said, I'm a recovering militant atheist, so I have to fight my initial like impulse, which is just like, souls aren't real, so fuck that. Like that's my initial
Damn, that's tough.
impulse because
That's
I'm an
tough.
annoying white boy.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I yeah.
Well, hey.
I tell me more. I I want to have some like little thing that makes me go like I want to be intrigued in it. At the current time, I have no like evidence that anything about that is real, but like I
Well,
I could be swayed.
I don't think this is going to make you think it's real, but I'll just leave you with this one tidbit that I thought was
Okay.
interesting. Um, Apparently, certain areas have been protected from astral projectors because theoretically, if you're astral projecting, you can go into any celebrity's house or public figure's house. You can just like walk on in or like go into their head, and sometimes they can perceive you or see you. And I saw in a TikTok video that you can't get into Area 51. You cannot project into astral project into Area 51, and you can also not astral project into Kylie Jenner's house. And apparently, like rich people have like gotten, I don't know, spiritual someones to like close off their areas to astral projectors. Yeah.
Well, I mean, um, okay. That also seems like a very convenient magic rule that actually would like prevent people from having knowledge of places they obviously could never know about. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
don't you think?
it's wild. It's some wild stuff. I I would just like to find out for myself, you know?
Yeah. Can you like send me like literature about this because you seem to know or just like what are
Oh,
these
I mean, in
TikToks?
all the Oh, I'll send you some TikToks. I in recently and the CIA is constantly declassifying stuff. And they had this
Yeah.
program called
Well, I know
Project
they
Gateway.
experiment with shit.
Yeah, so a
Yeah,
lot of this stuff is coming from the declassified documents from the CIA, like Project Gateway specifically. I sound like a conspiracy
right.
theorist right now, but I'm really just talking about what I see on the internet.
Well,
um,
that's conspiracy theories.
I, TikTok is just a conspiracy theory dungeon. It's insane. It's really crazy.
Every site is now. I mean, that's the 4chanization of America
Yeah,
and the world.
yeah,
It's like
scary.
there's like more left-leaning conspiracies and there's right-leaning conspiracies, but they don't inherently have political agenda. Like when I was in high school, I was really into conspiracies. Now I look back at those and I'm like, it's weird how like when something is so fringe like that, because
Mhm.
they were still fringe,
Mhm.
um, literally just like 10 years ago, it was like fringe shit to be like talking about, you know, RFID chips and New World Order and shit and
Yeah.
globalization. And now it's like, that's like base level. um, but, and like I was never like some weird little like right wing kid. I was always like very, I liked Rage Against the Machine, I liked,
Yeah.
but like now I look back on that and I was like, if there was not a point in my teenage years where I was like, okay, I'm not really interested in that because, it doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's some crazy FEMA camp plan that the Bush administration, that's the other thing, is when it was in the past, people had these crazy conspiracy theories, and it was like the people at the top were like, they were essentially against Republicans,
Mhm.
So like maybe the conspiracy theory was kind of right wing in its ideology, but like if the Bush administration was in charge while people were talking about like, 9/11 was a hoax, they were anti the Bush administration, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
And then like in the last 5 years, Trumpism just fucking like co-opted all this shit
Yeah.
and it became like, we're against government, but we like all the people in government, which
Yeah.
is weird.
Hmm.
He's going to drain the swamp, but like we actually kind of like all those people. They're
Would you ever
weird.
write a political film or political commentary?
I would say most of the shit that I've written in the last year is heavily political.
Tell us about it. Tell us more.
Um, well, I wrote two
Dimland?
scripts in the last year. Dimland is not political whatsoever. It is very abstract. There was at one point more that like some political shit kind of seeped into it because there's I don't know. I keep having to cut stuff from movies and scripts that I make uh, because it's kind of just like extraneous political commentary that has nothing to do with the rest of the plot. Um, and so, yeah, there used to be more of a kind of commentary on certain aspects of like gentrification and stuff like that. But it just had nothing to do with the rest of the movie, so I cut it out.
Mhm.
Um, and now it's a tight little movie about relationships that don't work and being depressed in your 20s.
Oh, that seems relatable.
So, yeah, it's pretty relatable. I think uh, some people think that I'm like being down on myself when I'm like, yeah, it's a bummer of a movie. But like, no, it is. And it was intended to be that way. It's
What is it
it's
called?
it is made by someone that was very depressed. No, Dimland.
Oh,
Dimland is a
oh,
fucking
this is
bummer.
not. Okay, okay, we're still talking about Dimland. Sorry, I'm trying to refocus my camera.
No, the the new the new movie that I'm working on, the present title is called The Moon and America.
Oh, that
So you
sounds
can
very
tell it's
political.
political because it included the word America. But
What is it about?
um, oh, it's about the moon in America.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
next question. No, I'm kidding. It's uh, I'm wondering just like how much to say about it because there has, I've been working on it for I don't know, roughly like 7 months ish or whatever. And there has been some pretty massive changes to the script. I've like rewritten it twice.
Oh,
Um, but it is broadly um, like a sort of kaleidoscopic look at a city, Chicago, um, that is in the midst of like multiple massive uh, periods of turmoil, which again, relatable. But like
sounds about right.
the in the world of the movie, um, there is there's stuff that is already happening, and then there's stuff that like starts happening with. I'm really struggling with how much to talk about the plot
You haven't done the
because
elevator pitch
it's
yet.
we
Is this
haven't.
the first elevator pitch you're giving about this movie?
No, I actually we did a table read in
Oh,
I think November,
this is the
and
one you told
so
me
I had to
about.
give the. Did I
That
tell you about it?
you said that you reached out to some actors.
Yes. So I did do a I did do several like uh, elevator pitches to people, and I would say that I was very unprepared for that. Uh, we had a pitch deck, so mostly I just was like, "Oh, where'd you go?
I just
Hello?
I just
Oh,
put it on full screen for you, because I'm
oh,
trying
I
to
see.
make it
Uh,
not fuzzy.
the sound's back.
I know. Sorry.
Let
Let
me
me.
fix it. Uh,
Oh, there it is. Okay,
you can hear me, right?
yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I'll keep talking so you can figure out whatever. Um, it's yeah, we had a nice pitch deck, and I kind of prefer to let that or the script do the talking, and I know that's like not what is taught to be, you know, um, marketable, especially in LA. I know
No, I get that.
because
I get that.
oh, the sound is back.
Sorry.
What's going on with your
Now we're
shit?
good. I fixed the camera.
Okay.
For some reason,
Ah,
it turned the sound back on, but we good now.
when I lived in LA, uh, it was like every single person just seems to know that you're supposed to be like, yeah, my script is like X meets Y. Like, it's fucking like I was talking to Tony, I don't know if he's still in the chat, about this guy that I met in a bar once that just was like, yeah, my script is like Irreversible by Gaspar Noé and like Full Metal Jacket meets Animal House. And I was just like,
Oh, what? How? Yeah. What did he
dude,
say?
I don't even want to know. I was in a group of people that I didn't know very well and I was very young, so I like didn't say anything, but he proceeded to describe one of the most offensive pieces of shit scripts I've ever heard, and I don't even want to talk about it. It was like the most,
That's
I was like
insane.
horrified.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
That's LA in a
but
nutshell.
that's, yeah, that is, I'll tell you that story another time. Because it just gets me a little too riled up. But like, yeah, when I talk about what I didn't like about LA living there, I give that story.
Wow.
Um, anyway, but I do have a hard time talking like that about scripts that I write, probably because they do come from such a stream of consciousness place.
Mhm.
Like the first draft of this script that I'm working on was like, you know, it was like 180 pages, and that equates to more or less like a three. It equates to like a 3 hour movie,
Oh my
basically.
gosh.
Um, and there was no idea about the plot. It was essentially like sketches and vignettes start
Mhm.
piling onto each other, and then I kind of revisit characters, and like by about the 100 page mark, I'm like, oh, that's kind of what this script is about. And then it keeps going. And then I
Wow.
worked with my sibling Eli to like, they kind of went through the, stack of ideas basically that the first draft was, and was like, okay, we can follow these characters, and these are the most important plot points. And then we like revised it and made a 85 page version of the script. And that was the one that we did the table read for.
Mhm.
And then I started over, and because I'm not very good at editing. That's why I'm glad that Eli is there, because I just don't, when I'm working as a writer, as opposed to like a director, I just don't know, I don't know anything. I'm just like
Yeah.
a button gets turned on and ideas come out. And I'm just kind of like, they might be good. I don't fucking know. And
Interesting. How
so
long have
for
you
this
and
third draft, sorry,
how long have you and your sibling worked together? That's such a cool relationship.
this is the first time.
Oh wow.
So we've never, we've been talking, they're a playwright. So
Awesome.
um, it's been a while of uh, like us just kind of doing our own things that are like surprisingly similar.
Uh-huh.
Like their last play that they had uh, like performed before they graduated college, I was just like, this is like this is like the plot of Dimland. Like I like
No
they had never
way.
seen Dimland, and like I was just like, this is fucking crazy that we both
Wow.
are like writing about this stuff with some variation.
That
So
really is
um,
crazy.
it is weird. So I think that it's been pretty cool to like, I don't know, just have someone who has like a pretty different skill set than me, but
Mhm.
like is interested in similar things. Um, I think that maybe I'm a little bit more political than them, but like they also are just as like motivated by like trying to put very small inner feelings on well, in art, like, and kind of like making big abstract metaphorical explanations of how it feels to experience those things,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. It's hard to describe because um, I don't know, because it's abstract, but like I just wound myself out of you you should talk about something. I just
No,
got
it's
so
really
exhausted
interesting.
while I was talking.
I think it's a really awesome connection to have with someone, and The ability to develop
Yeah.
the sibling relationship is always great. But I'd love to just hear about, what you think the future holds and what you hope to accomplish as an indie filmmaker.
Oh boy. Um,
Big question.
yeah. What the future holds, I don't know. Um, I hope that it holds making movies soon, because that is what I hope to accomplish. I really, you know, uh, uh, this year has been at times really good for creativity and at times like the worst.
Mhm.
Um, I had this insane like spurt of creative energy in the first like 2, 3 months of the pandemic.
Mhm.
And um, I mean, I finished a script I had been working on for like half a year. Um, and then I started another script, and then I tossed that script out and started again, and that became the first draft of my current script. So I must have written within the first few months of the pandemic like 400 pages.
Wow.
Um,
That's wild.
something along that like, you know. And then summer hit and I just died inside. Like I
Yeah.
just had no drive. I don't know, the protests in June were just kind of like, oh, none of this stuff matters. Like like my brain was just kind of like I literally can't think of anything because it seems like um the gig the jig is up. Like,
Mhm.
we're about to just enter full on fascism. So, I don't really know what we're doing. It seems like a lot of people are dying. Everything is like going to shit. And then there was like a weird moment where during that week of the protests, I mean, weeks, like
Month.
my brain turned from like everything is going to shit, like let's just fucking, I don't know, depression, to like, okay, everything is going to shit. It's time to fucking like, work. And then I like didn't not work on creative stuff. That still didn't matter at all in my brain. But like work on, we gotta like form some factions and like, like very apocalyptic, fighting authoritarianism type of thinking, which I would like to think I have held on to the most practical aspects, like, being involved in, you know, socialist activist kind of stuff that,
Mhm.
is just making sure that like we're still actually doing stuff, even though the threat of authoritarianism is like a little bit less now.
Mhm.
Um, like obviously right now I'd say the biggest concern is like making sure there aren't um, more coups, which I don't really know what we can do about that.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
I don't really, I don't really know. Anyway, I don't know what that. What was I?
Just
I
talking
don't know
about
what
the
that question
future.
was.
What are some
Oh
directors,
yeah.
like, if you could just hop into any director's career right now, like, who would you want to take their place, or who do you want to emulate when you become a hotshot director? I know it'll happen.
Uh. Oh, thanks. Um, I have always said that I haven't thought about this in a while, but I've always said that Spike Jonze has my ideal career,
Mm.
because he, I used to do a lot more music videos.
Mhm.
Now I don't really do so many music videos, or any, although I would like to, um, because just like, uh, it seems like the only thing that my brain can like get excited about is like making new feature films. So maybe I don't actually want to emulate Spike Jonze anymore, because he doesn't do that many features. But I just like that he always is able to do something that is a variation of his like thing. You know, he's not a multidisciplinary artist like Miranda July. I love the idea of Miranda July's career, but I'm just not that interested in other forms of art.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be so like I think it would be so fulfilling and wonderful to, you know, be a performance artist and an author and a director and, uh, all of those things. But um, the only thing that I keep coming back to with frequency is film.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think it would be cool to have a show. Um, I would love to have like a show on HBO with a really sick writer's room.
Hell
I
yeah.
think that that's a great opportunity to, you know, like achieve some things that like you just are not able to on your own.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'd be interested in that in the future, but like honestly, I literally just want to make movies one after another and always be working on a movie because I am happiest. Like making Dimland, I sound like really corny when I talk about it um, because it is corny to say this, but it like changed my life. It
I don't think
I
that's
went from
corny.
being someone I went from being, well, it's weird to say that because like it hasn't done anything for me exactly, you know?
It's done a
Like
lot if it
it's
changed
not
your
out yet.
life. It already changed your life and
It
it's not even out.
yeah,
That's something.
that's true. It's like it's a movie that like nobody has seen, that hasn't played a festival, that we have like a publicist finally working to get it, seen and distributed. Um, so that's great, but also, you know, all the majority of people like haven't seen it, and I haven't like we shot it 2 years ago or more,
Mhm.
and now I'm still I'm still able to say like, yeah, it changed my life because before that I didn't know that this idea that I had when I was a kid of like I want to direct movies was actually true.
Mm.
Um, I have been directing, somewhat professionally since I was 19. Um, and like I went through several years of doing like just music videos really and like short film here and there. And then I just was, I wasn't even doing that many music videos anymore, but I just was very lost. And this was around the time that I was about to quit drinking. So I quit drinking for Dimland. I
That makes
I
sense.
like wrote the script and I started getting the wheels in motion and I was just like I'm not going to fuck this up. I'm like
Yeah.
I am going to put every ounce of time and energy into making this real, and so that was just like a no-brainer. I had been experimenting with like taking a month off here and there, but like, you know, um it wasn't doing the trick. So I quit drinking. I've never gone back. And after shooting in the fucking mountains in a cabin for a month and shooting something that I wrote with a crew and with actors and everything, I was just like, okay, how do I get back to that?
Yeah.
The only thing in my life now that like is a guiding light is like, you know, whatever I need to do to get back to that point. Because that was just like the best I've like ever felt. Um,
Wow.
so
What
yeah,
felt so right about it?
there's like there's an uh, I don't know if you like, I hate to bring this into just kind of like mental health terms, but like, you know, I have uh sometimes crippling ADHD. I
Mhm.
don't know about you. But like I'm very like deadline task oriented,
Mhm.
and but like also I hate working for people. And like I like creating stuff, and just all of the things that I like come together. And on a film set, you get to do all of them. You get to like think of new ideas, make stuff up, but like you also have a structure, and um, you have like a superstructure to every aspect of this. You have to like think about visuals, you have to think about scheduling, you have to think about like uh, um, just like creating the scene and all of that. You're having all of these conversations, but they're all very motivated.
Yeah.
And I like socializing, but it is very difficult for me without like a purpose.
Mhm.
So like I have difficulty kind of like knowing to just naturally socialize, which sounds like a fucking sociopath, but like
No,
that's
it
true for
it
me.
makes sense. I think a lot of people feel the same way.
And yeah, it's all, the I think most people, just being on a set, would agree with this. The like the juice is every person on that set in like hive brain
Mhm.
of uh how do we make the thing that doesn't exist exist?
Right.
And that is just like, that's insane. That is a thing.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. I like, it brings me to tears like talking about making movies, because it's like there's a thing that is just an idea, and then it becomes physical.
Mhm.
It's like literal manifestation
Yeah. It
of
really is.
fantasy.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm locked in, I guess.
That's amazing. It's amazing to find something that makes you feel so good and that you love so much. And something I've struggled with is feeling like I can only be creative around creative people. Um, because
Hmm.
I similarly am so inspired by so many artists, and if I could just
Yeah,
surround myself with them all the time, I would, but that's not life.
totally.
And realizing that I don't have to restrict myself to being around those types of people in order to be myself and be creative has, inspired me to do this show. Like I'm just so used to
Yeah,
collaborating with people all the time as a producer that I was always like, all right, where's my designer? Where's my actor? Like, where's my musician?
right.
And I'm like, you know what? I can do all that. And
That's true.
it's it's equally fulfilling. Don't get me wrong, though. I love working with teams. I love collaborating. But there's only
Well, I
so
think
much you can do right now.
the concept of a team is very loose, you know? Like, um, I I never have the money to hire a good team.
Right.
And when I say a good team, I mean like not the quality of the people themselves. I mean like having an actual team where everyone is satisfied that they just have their one job.
Yeah.
Because from the slightly higher budgeted things that I have done, and the people, mostly DPs that I work with, that like actually work on big budget stuff,
Mhm.
um, because I really don't. It is kind of a very film setty expectation of just kind of like, X is my job and not Y, and blah blah blah. But when you're coming at it from like a very DIY standpoint,
Mhm.
which is like, I mean, my first short films, like I was the whole crew, and
Yeah.
I still do that from time to time.
Wow.
But like, on Dimland, everybody was everything. Like, Josh, my DP, was absolutely as much a producer as I was.
Mhm.
Uh, and we both tackled, like, he did all the scheduling, and we would have crashed and burned without his, like, numbers brain
Mhm.
being able to do that.
Mhm.
And like, he kept us on schedule, and like, I was kind of AD as well as director. um, all of the actors helped like carry equipment and stuff. um,
Wow.
our our sound person was local to Asheville, and we didn't really know her, so she was like the only person that um, that may have not had the expectation of, like, just like, this is a loose team. Anyone can do anything. Like, she could have totally just like been like, I'm just here to do sound, but like she totally like helped out with, you know, I remember at one point I was trying to block this scene, and we kept doing it, and like no one was really saying it, but like it looked dumb. And like, Lauren, the sound person, like made a comment, and I was kind of like, what is that? What do you think? And like she was like, well, maybe he shouldn't really like just be looking at her like that. And I was like, oh yeah, true. And we did it like that, and it was like way better. So,
That's amazing.
it was just because she was a director too. She like was her own, um, she did her own shit. And yeah, I think on film sets, and even more so like commercial sets where like everyone is there to do like their job, it's I think it still seeps through. I think that people, especially if they've worked together before, like still have that, you know, impulse, but like it's very restricted,
Yeah.
especially when there's like unions involved.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I
That's a nightmare.
I have nothing against the unions. I am pro union, but like I also know that like people that are in guilds or whatever, like, can be in trouble for doing certain things
Mhm.
that are outside of their guilds, like, um, guidelines.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm suddenly now on record like dissing guilds and unions.
No,
I
you're not.
hope that that's not
You're saying
interpreted
it's
that
more
way.
complicated. It's just more complicated.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. What an amazing experience. I love hearing about it. Um, Tony says that he's eating a full oven pizza by himself. It's his response to our
I'm about to do that.
enlightening conversation. I know it's we've already
Here,
well, we've almost been talking for an hour and a
I'm
half, so
gonna
I'm gonna
go.
let you go. I'm gonna let you go. But
Oh,
I
okay.
like to end the show with hot takes about whatever you may have a hot
Oh,
take about, if you have one that you want to share
damn. I have
about
so many hot
what's
takes.
going on in society, on the internet, politics, entertainment, any hot take. We'll listen.
Man, society, in my opinion, people are on their phones too much. No, I don't fucking. Um, damn, has it already been an hour and a half? No way,
An hour and 18 minutes.
dude. I talk so much. It's crazy that sometimes I think I'm an introvert. I talk so much. Um,
You talk a perfect amount.
shit.
You're great. We'll do this again. Like, you are always welcome on the show, and I want to just, follow your progress and see what's next. But sorry, tell me your hot takes. I'll
Well,
stop talking.
I'm just trying to think. No, no, no. You keep talking because um, just general hot takes. I don't know. Um,
Chat,
shit.
chat, if you have any questions, now's the time. Any
Yeah, can
questions for
people
Peter? Let us know.
has anyone been watching this?
Yeah, we've got a good amount of viewers. We started out pretty high. We were at like 10 for a while. Now we're at 3 right now.
I see. Okay. So I guess that does mean it's time to go. But shit. Tony, we just had like a 3-hour conversation earlier today. What did I
Oh,
must have had some
Tony asked a
hot
question.
take.
He said,
Okay.
a movie you think sucks
This
that everyone loves.
that is a hot take question. Um, dude, fuck. Are there any hot takes left in the world? Did hot takes even exist? Um, shit.
What's a grievance? Do you have any grievances as of late?
I have so many grievances. I'm very grumpy. Um, God damn, Amanda, I hate this is my brain stops working when someone asks me to like come
It's
up with
okay.
this is what I mean when I say I don't have ideas. Uh, it's
It's okay.
but now I feel very
Well, what's a
I'm
movie that
literally like
sucks? Or what's a movie that you think sucks that everyone loves? Or we can
this
just go
you know what's
easy.
so embarrassing?
What?
I have to look at my fucking letterboxed to even know what movies I've been watching.
You're like, I've never
Are
watched
you
a
on
movie in my
Letterboxd?
life.
When someone asks me what are my favorite movies lately, I instantly forget every movie that I've watched within the past 2 years, and I have to
Yeah,
look at a fucking list that I make.
I do that too.
Um,
I do that too. I tried to watch The Little
okay.
Things last night. That
Oh
new.
yeah, that doesn't look very
Oh
good.
my god, it was so slow. I turned it off after like 30 minutes.
Um, okay, here's a hot take. Wonder Woman 1984, not that bad. Everyone needs to fucking chill out about 1984.
It was that bad. It was that bad.
It was it was not that bad. It was not that bad.
What was redeeming
It
about it?
was not it was not good.
That it was expensive?
I will not say that it is, but I feel like there is a um okay, yeah. See, here we go. We got the ball rolling.
Okay.
Wonder Woman 1984 not that bad. Tenet very good.
Whew. All right. You're the first person
Very
to
good
say that.
and very good and if you watch it a second time, not even that confusing. I,
I still haven't
but
seen it.
like it's I mean you will have no fucking clue what's going on the first time.
Okay.
And that's okay. Um, I think it is okay to be confused, and I feel like people were unkind to that movie uh, because they forgot that it's fun to have no idea what's going on sometimes.
Hmm.
Like, do you remember your first time watching Donnie Darko?
Yes.
Like
A moving experience.
a moving experience, and what the hell happened in that movie? Like,
So much.
I love that movie. I fucking love Donnie Darko. I love Southland Tales, which everybody hates from Richard Kelly. Uh,
Okay.
I love. Oh man, you
Enter the
gotta watch
Void.
Southland
That's
Tales.
one. Enter the Void. If you don't know, you don't know.
It's it's. I love Enter the Void.
It's
I
amazing.
think
It's one of
I
my
actually don't know if
favorites.
I still do.
I think
I
I
watched
I
it when I
watched it during
was.
quarantine again and I was like, yes.
I had this awesome experience with that film. My friend in high school's girlfriend lived in this really nice house with a like home theater in the basement,
Mm,
and we watched Enter the Void at her house in like this theater setting, and it was just like it was so
incredible.
rad.
I'll
um
never
but
forget.
a very punishing movie.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite theater experiences of all time was seeing Melancholia at the New Art in LA. And like the
Nice.
sound
I don't
in
think I have
there.
been there.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
great little theater in LA that plays a lot of art films. And like I just remember sitting in that chair like at the end of the movie and the entire theater was just like "Ooh," just like completely shaking. It was amazing.
I need to get your take on good theaters in LA because I have some that I go to when I'm there, but it's only because I know them. Like, uh, I used to go to the NoHo Lamley, but only because I lived like around the block.
Yeah, I've never been
And
there.
then apart from that, it was just kind of like, okay, well, ArcLight is always good and really expensive.
Yeah.
Uh, and then is it the Vista?
Yes, in
The big
Litchfield.
old one that's cheap and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that one's
that
really
place is
cool.
great. I saw Blade Runner 2049 there.
Ooh, ooh, that must have been fun.
Um,
Century
what
City
else we
is
got? Okay,
always solid if you're on the
Century.
west side.
That's not an ArcLight.
No, I think it's an AMC. It's in a
Oh,
mall. It's like
okay,
Century City Mall. They have a huge theater in there, and then the Grove, similar mall movie theater
right.
setup. Um, the one in like the Dome in Hollywood is fun. Um,
The Dome.
yeah,
Damn.
like the
Maybe I need to give LA another try.
shout out
Literally just
LA.
like
Love LA.
mention three movie theaters, and I'm like, maybe I need to try it again.
I know. It's so easy to hit
Um,
that LA heartstring. Like, I'm gonna miss it so much if I'm not there when things reopen. But
are
I
you?
just, I
I
don't
mean, we talked about this recently, but like, you don't have immediate plans to move back?
know. No. And jobs that
Yeah.
I'm very interested in are not there. So
Damn. Well,
it's scary. I mean,
uh,
whatever's meant to be
where?
will be. At least it's not far if I stay here.
Yeah.
But damn, I love LA. I miss it.
You know who else loves LA?
Who?
Randy Newman.
True.
Okay.
What was your hot take? What
Uh,
was it?
I'm still looking at movies that I've watched in the past year. The Old Guard, very bad.
Yeah, I didn't see
Lots of
that.
people like that movie. I did not like that movie. Um, Bird Box, fucking mess.
Mm-mm.
Basically, any movie that has been made for a streaming service in the last
Yeah,
2 years is a unmitigated
disaster.
disaster.
Yeah.
And I will go on record saying that, except for
Really?
Mank. There's a Netflix movie.
Oh, I don't know it.
It's good. It's the
Mank.
new David Fincher movie. Mank.
Mink?
Um,
Like the animal?
Mank.
M A
No,
N
like
K?
Mank. It's
Oh.
about the co-writer of Citizen Kane.
Oh, yeah, I think my friend tried to get me to watch that, and I was like, no. Sorry.
It's great. Other hot take. This is not a hot take anywhere, uh, e- except for like, I don't know, talking to people that maybe don't really have an interest in movies. Jennifer's Body is very good,
Is that
and
the one with
I
Megan Fox?
will. It is the one with Megan Fox.
Okay. I I'm
I
gonna go watch
watched
that
it
tomorrow.
for the
That sounds
first
fun.
time. I watched it for the first time during quarantine, and people on like film Twitter all have this take, so it's not a unique hot take, but like people have been going back and rediscovering this movie that like at the time was marketed as like, Megan Fox, she's fucking hot as shit, and in this movie she's bi. That's the marketing.
Oh
That was the
no.
2009 marketing
Jesus.
for Jennifer's Body. So like
I didn't know
everybody
that.
was just like, okay, so that's like a movie for like horny guys, but it's written by Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno.
Oh
It's
yeah.
directed by Karen Kusama,
I don't know who that
and
is.
it's
Hey
like the
females.
whole team is like women making a movie about women, and it's not for. I mean, like, I'm not going to say it's not for men. It's like, I'm just saying it was made with not a feminist viewpoint in mind, but like it's not thin. It's not shallow, is what I'm saying. It's not like made with the intent of it being Megan Fox is very hot and we're going to make a movie about that. It's like
Yeah. I wonder if
a
it's
really fun B movie that does not shirk on its female characters uh, like personalities and friendship. And it's
okay.
fucking great.
Wow.
And J.K. Simmons
Yeah.
plays a teacher with a hook hand, which rules.
Wow. That sounds like an amazing Halloween costume. J.K. Simmons with a hook.
Yeah, he also has this like curly wig on. It's just fucking phenomenal.
Wow.
It's so
All
good. It's
right.
so funny.
I'm sold. I am sold. Say no more. Say less. I'm going to watch it tomorrow for
Okay,
sure. Thank you for
let
that
me know what you
hot
think.
take. That was perfect. Um,
I hope that I'm not talking so much that this is going way longer than you intend these to go.
no, they usually go around this length. It's exactly an hour and a half.
Okay,
I'm sure we both are hungry for
perfect.
dinner. But thank you so much, Peter. Like this was so fun. I Tony
I
just
will
said
always.
I remember going to see Black Swan exclusively because I heard there was a sex scene between Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis, and then being scarred for life when I saw it when it's an actual psychological horror film. Well,
Yeah,
that's what you get,
no, that
Tony. That's what you get.
th- I think the difference with Jennifer's Body was that people watched it, and when you watch Black Swan, you immediately know, oh, this isn't sexy. You're like, you
Yeah.
watch it and you're like, oh my God, fuck. Like that's the reaction because Darren Aronofsky likes to torture people. But
Yeah.
like Jennifer's Body kind of just, if you watch it with a certain mindset going in, I feel like you can actually watch the whole and just be like, I think that was like a bad horror movie. And
Okay.
like
I love bad horror
I
movies.
just don't I just don't think that's true. I think that it is a movie that is made with a very specific tone in mind. And I think that it achieves that tone. And a lot of people were very confused because they expected a slightly different tone.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll let you know what I think. We'll keep you posted.
Please do. And
Amazing.
thank you for wanting to talk to me on the internet.
Anytime. You're very entertaining. Um, Thanks, Tony. Thanks, C Mills. C Mills, sorry that you joined right as we're finishing up. But Peter will be back. He's very entertaining and fun to talk to. So thank you again, Peter. And I'm
Thank you
excited
very
to see what
much.
you do next. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome, per usual. And I
I
can't wait
can't
to watch
wait
The
either.
Revenant. Get me on that streaming
I'll
list,
send you a
please.
copy. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I yeah, no problem. I mean, hey, it's not like you're going to be able to go to a theater and see it anytime soon.
Can't. Can't do that.
Uh,
All right, everyone.
hey, if we can get a theater screening by the end of 2021, then life is good.
Yeah.
That's my goal. If
Hell
we
yeah.
can get somewhere in the world a theater screening by the end of 2021, then maybe there's hope for
Maybe.
this fucking medium
Hope so.
and my career. Okay, bye.
On that note, have a great night,
On
everyone.
that note, bye.
Bye.